Means no worries for the rest of your days. Hmm. Oh, this is good. Oh, that's better. There we go. Let's see who's going to join. No, I'm not doing that. Y'all got chill. You guys hear me?
Hey there.
Perfect. What is up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on. Great.
Sweet.
I got a new webcam. It kind of like autofocus is weird. If I get blurry, that's why. What are you guys up to tonight?
I am finishing up journaling for the day.
Good. Nice.
About it, yeah. Just getting some thoughts down from the last couple of days. It's been crazy,
Yeah.
but
Do you find that helpful?
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your process when you journal? I'm always intrigued by that because, like, when I journal, I literally will just write whatever's in my mind. And I know there's nothing wrong with that, but do you follow a
Yeah.
system?
So sometimes when I journal pray, which is a lot because I mean, sometimes when I pray, it's 5 minutes and then sometimes it's 15 minutes. So but I journal pray a lot. And then if I'm studying something, like I'll write it down and look for keywords in the scripture and go back to each one of them and try to find like a root cause or root meaning or whatever of the word. Um, for instance, a couple, like one thing, as you know, the journey that I've been on the last couple of days, one of the things that I need to work on is my mouth, like cussing. And I've never found in the Bible like where it's just wrong to cuss, right? Like don't say this, don't say that, whatever. And in Matthew 26, I think it's 74, I saw where Peter was denying Jesus. And the first and second time, it says he just straight out denied him, right? There's no anything with it. But the third time, it says he cursed and something else and denied Jesus. And so for me, it was like, well, why did he do that? Well, he did that to look more like the world, right?
Hmm.
To take, for those people to look at him and say, okay, he's not with Christ. So what would I have to do to make these people think that I am not a Christ follower? And it said he cursed and swore. And I was like, okay, that's enough for me to start watching my mouth then. So just little things like that, and then jotting that down, like scripture to go back to. And then, yeah, just in general, like things that happened to you too. I remember for years I did that when I was married before things that had happened with my patients at work, like
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. But those were, obviously those were thrown away. So I've lost years of journaling and experiences of stuff that I had happen when I was a kid, just literally getting everything out
Yeah.
so I don't process it up here all the time. It's down on paper and I can go back to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I was talking to my buddy the other day. He's starting this new practice of journaling where he writes. So he goes through the whole journal and he writes on just the front side of the sheet. And then when he finishes, he goes back and he writes on the back side. And he did that because then he can read what was on the front and kind of remember 7, 8 months,
That's,
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really cool. I like that.
That is cool. You can see kind of where you've progressed mentally or spiritually or even physically,
Yeah.
from wherever you started. That's really cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
Writing down prayer requests, see how they got it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle's, what does that say? Phantom note take? Oh, okay. I was like, who is that without their camera on?
Yeah. I got this new it's called Fathom. It like
Oh,
it'll
Fathom. Okay, there we
yeah,
go.
it'll just like take notes of whatever the meeting is, and it's really cool. It gives you bullet points, like takeaways,
Dude, be
action.
careful. We do that at work and it's so bad.
Why?
You just have to be careful what you say. I mean, there's times where like we're venting and then it like takes all the notes and we're like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. So anyway,
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't even think about that. That's hilarious. How are you doing though?
Good. Good.
Yeah. How was your week?
Week so far is crazy. Actually not that bad though, because typically I have to drive in Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and today I did not drive in. I got to work from home, so that was good.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah.
How were your workouts?
Good. Good. Um,
Survived.
yes. Yeah. No, yeah, no, they're good, really good. They're like I feel like this week and last week it was more like endurance, really. Like I mean, clearly they're still lifting and stuff, but so yeah, it's kicking my butt, so it's good.
Good. How's everyone's nutrition? Talk to me about that. We tracking food? Are we eating good? You guys look like you just got in trouble when I asked that question. What's going on? What's happening?
I'm not. I'm not. This is day 2. I've got tomorrow to go, so I'm not at the moment. But Thursday will be here before you know it.
Okay. All right. Have you been going? You've still been going on your walks, right?
Yes. So Monday, I sent you a screenshot. So Monday I hit 3 miles, and then today I hit 10 on the bike. So
Good.
still, yep, sticking
Good.
with it. Just almost done.
So
I was fine yesterday. So Kim, I'm doing a fast spiritually, and
oh
of
wow,
course
okay.
the Lord has said no, it's food this time, and I'm on board with that for several reasons. And this is day 2, and yesterday I was okay. I was like, okay, I feel good. It's okay. I still got energy. I'm gonna get my walk in. Everything's fine. I got this. Tonight I'm hungry,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm like, I'm staying in prayer. I'm journaling. I'm doing the things.
Oh
He
my
is not going to win. So yeah,
That's awesome.
thank you.
That's wow. That's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah. What were you about to say, Kimberly? Before that,
Do what now?
Kimberly, what were you about to say right before that?
I don't know. What was I gonna say?
Talking about nutrition, tracking
Oh,
food, walking.
I'm sorry. My daughter's sitting right here. She's making goofy faces at me. Um, God, what was I gonna say?
How has your nutrition been?
It's been fine, honestly. I generally like eat healthy anyway, so it's I just need to do better about meal prepping, and I need to do better about making my kids eat healthy with me. Um, I know. Okay, I have an elderly dog. I have to go help out. I'll be right back.
You're good. You're good. Chaos. I love it. Your day 2 of your fast. How's it going?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel mentally?
Yeah, actually better than I expected.
Really?
Yeah, very much more clear. And what's crazy is like I feel almost like the inflammation of my body is obviously it has, but it has gone down. Like I'm not, there's a couple, of joints that were hurting, and I was having some right side pain, lower pain. I thought, gosh, I've still got my appendix. I really hope it's not my appendix. And all that has stopped like almost overnight. So it's good. Spiritually and mentally feeling much stronger than I was.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefit to fasting. I mean, the obviously the biblical reason is through Jesus, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of health benefits to it as well. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I can feel the difference. It's crazy to say that after day two, just 48 hours, but
Yeah.
I can tell. Like, and I thought my energy would be low, but it's not really been that bad, which is crazy because I haven't had any calories. So it's like, what is going on right now? And my caloric burn, I think for that walk was like 600 something. I'm like, how am I not feeling that?
It's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. But
That's awesome. I remember what I was gonna say.
Okay, yeah, tell us, please.
So I remember when I started however many weeks ago, you were like, don't do so much cardio, but like I walk all the time. So like you just triggered it talking about it. Like all the time. Like I get like 15,000 steps in, like at a minimum, because it's therapeutic. Like I really like walking. Um, is that bad? Like,
No, no, no.
'cause-
It's different when it's walking. Well, it's always calories out versus calories in, like the whole thing if you're trying to lose weight. So that still
yes,
matters. But there are levels to it. Like if you were going in the gym and you're hopping on the elliptical for 2 hours and you're at 140 BPM, like that's the kind of cardio you don't want to do because especially when you're trying to build muscle, tone
right,
up, you're trying to like change the way your body composition.
right.
And that's what a lot of people go to first. And it's not that it's bad, it's just there's better ways to do it. And we have to really periodize that. So for you going on walks, totally. Like walking is such a low intensity, you burn some extra calories. Just make sure you're still consuming enough carbs, which you have been, right? You've been adding extra in. Just make
Yeah,
sure you're consuming enough protein, enough carbs to sustain your energy levels when you're going and lifting weights or
yeah,
doing some sort of metcon. But yeah, go for a walk, especially like you said, it's good to just clear your mind.
yeah.
Like, so you don't want to take that out of the equation. But yeah, there's like a spectrum, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say this to you, Renee, to your point, feeling like you have energy. So I did a fast several years ago. I've had something going on in my body where like I was just getting tweaked every week, like injury. It was very strange. I took 5 days and did a Nira cleanse. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a little bit of maple syrup, Himalayan sea salt, lemon juice, or like squeeze a lemon and water, and that's all you have for 5 days. And on the fifth day, when I thought I'd be really excited to eat food, I remember being like, I feel incredible.
really?
Like
Yeah.
I could just keep going. It was the strangest thing. Now, when I ate, it was awesome. Like I was glad to eat, but
Hmm.
it was almost like I forgot how to eat. I was like, oh, this is weird to like sit down and eat food right now. It was really strange.
My little sister asked me today what the first thing I was going to eat was. I was like, I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm focused on right now. She's like, you should try because she knows that I'm like a sweet junkie. She's
Yeah,
like, you should try fruit first to see if it really tastes like more sweet than normal. I was like, I like watermelon. I might do that. So,
I wonder if it will. Yeah, a lot of people say to break a fast with like some soup or some
yeah.
broth, something gentle on the stomach, and then
Yeah.
ease into like softer foods, like a sweet potato or something, and then yeah, there you go.
Bone broth.
Yeah, yeah,
It's on the agenda.
perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
well, dang, 72 hours is no joke.
Yeah. It has definitely stretched me. It's the first time I've ever done that, like with no food for that long.
Wow,
But that's definitely what I felt like God was putting on my heart. So that's what I chose to do. So
I love it. Um, what questions do y'all have for me? Do you have any questions for me? Tell me, like, think back through the week. What questions or what problems did we run into? Anything?
When you're doing a front squat, like, can you show like how far are your elbows supposed to be like up when you're holding the bar like in front when you're doing a bar front squat?
So, very good question. Usually, the standard. So there's okay, so there's always going to be again spectrum. based on everybody's body, their mobility, their positioning that they can get into. But the standard is that you want it to be 90 degrees to the ground, like parallel to the ground, right? Now, whenever I front squat, I'll hold like a whole hand in the bar rather than two fingers. And so it makes it harder to go up there. So it's not quite parallel, but my front
Mhm.
rack is in a better position. And so it's still the same thing. Like I'm still very centered. So if you were watching me front squat, you'd be like, okay, it's not quite a parallel, but its positioning still looks good. So I think if you go in there with that mindset of, okay, my goal is to get here,
Yeah.
but I'm also going to play around with and see how it feels. Like if going here just doesn't feel good and you don't feel strong,
Yeah.
then play around with either dropping the elbows, your hand placement on the bar. You can go two fingers, you can go full finger. You can kind of mess around with it, figure out what's going to work for you. Um, Another thing that's really good for that front rack position is like elevating your scaps into the bar. And so you're in this like really big front rack position rather than just kind of relax and letting the bar just chill. You want to press into it and then go throughout the movement. And that works your thoracic, your shoulder. Like that's what really brings everything into play there.
Cool.
Have you been
Thanks.
struggling with the front squat?
I just don't know if I'm doing it right, honestly. And then I don't know if I'm going like low enough either. Like I feel like I am, but like I guess how far are you supposed to like how far is your bend supposed to or your knee supposed to bend? Like
Like how far below parallel?
sitting. Like yeah, like I'm like so yeah, I don't know.
So you want to get your hips below your knee crease. So like if this is your knees, right?
Yeah.
Your hips. Like you want to get below parallel as far as possible.
Okay.
But again, some people don't have the mobility to do that. And so what will happen is that tailbone will butt wink at the bottom. I don't know if you've ever seen that, or then
Mm-mm.
will start to collapse. So really the goal is to go below parallel, but to the limit of your mobility.
Okay.
And I venture to say you probably have good mobility, but I want you to shoot me a video. Have you ever videoed yourself front squatting?
Okay.
Have you ever videoed yourself doing the front squat?
No, no. Why would I?
Yeah. Shoot me a video. Like go in the gym tomorrow or whatever and just do a few reps, even though it's not on the agenda. Just do a
No.
few reps, shoot me a video. I'll critique it for you.
Okay.
Chances are you're probably doing it well, but maybe there's some minor things we can,
Okay. Sounds good.
yeah.
Yes, I don't have any questions, but I do have a statement that I think the vest was a good call.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I do. It pushes me a little bit. The first couple of days I wore it, I had to get adjusted to the breathing, even, being on your chest and being able to expand your lungs. And my whole chest was sore the first or second day. But I do think that that's beneficial and helpful
Cool.
for walking and stuff. I do like that.
Did you get a 20 pounder or a 14?
20.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
When do
Yeah.
you wear it, Renee?
When I walk, when I'm doing
Okay.
my walking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know if you were here when I was telling Renee this, but there was a study that found if you wear 15% of your body weight on your body and you go for a walk, you 4x the amount of calories you burn, which is
Wow.
really crazy. So if you want to like make the most of a 30-minute walk, strap on a 20-pound vest or like a
Mhm.
30-pound ruck, whatever, and just go for a low intensity walk. That's all you need.
Yeah, it
Shoot.
seems to have helped.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, when you send me the screenshots, I'm looking at your average heart rate. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're there. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so tell me about your week, Kimberly. You said it was very chaotic.
Mhm.
Did you have trouble balancing getting the workouts in?
I got them all in. I got everything in. Like I'm not gonna let myself down. So like I am like really hard on myself. And so I just had to work it around. So like after church on Sunday, I got my last one in. So I mean it's fine. Like I just and I know when I need to rest too, so I'm not like crazy or anything, but like yeah. So I just Wednesday was really bad.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, something unexpected happened. And so I just didn't work out either. And I know Thursday was an off day, but I was supposed to catch up like from Wednesday on Thursday. And anyway, so I just did it Saturday and Sunday. So it was all good.
Good. Okay. All right. Well, I was just asking because if there was, I just wanted to see if there's anything that we could talk through to make it easier. But it sounds like you figured it out, and so that's perfect. That's good. Tammy,
Hi.
hello.
Hi.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
How
Thank
are you
you.
doing?
I made it.
Were you able to get the little ones down to bed?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Thank
Give us a
you.
win from the week. Let's start with a bang.
Let me think. I had one. I had a good one.
Well, how are your energy levels? Have you been feeling pretty solid?
Yeah, I've been doing better. There we go. There's a light. Um, yeah, it's been getting better. Like I think I'm finally starting to understand. I don't want to sound like ignorant, but I think I'm finally starting to understand macros.
Okay. Okay. In what way? What do you mean?
I just think like the more that I've been plugging away at it and just like understanding how to eat carbs to actually get the energy beforehand, it was just such a brain switch for me. So I think like that's just been the biggest thing is like been able to do that, which then gives me more energy to do the workouts and to do them well. And like just to kind of yeah, it's like it was a lot harder than I thought. And like just who do we have on here? Ladies, yes. So women. It was just challenging, like hormonally challenging. Just to get like that in place and to get it balanced. And um I feel like now I have like a grasp of it. Like I have a hold of it.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So you're feeling more balanced. You feel less stressed in the body, like overall.
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, I feel like I finally was able to get into also like a routine with eating and with sleeping. And
Yeah.
it like really just almost was a game changer for me just like 48 hours ago, to be honest.
Getting a routine for eating well and sleeping well is like everything. That's huge.
Well, I was really resisting it for some reason. I think I just wasn't used to it. And like my body was just, and probably just my emotional state was so used to doing things a certain way to control my body. And like my body just like wasn't, my body's like, no, we don't want to do what you've been doing for the past however many years, decades of your life. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it was just figuring out, oh, right. Like my body actually needs food, like a lot of food, a lot more food than I'm giving it. And it's okay. I think what I was scared of was just like going, I was kind of reading my fitness pal wrong too, just like mentally, right? It's just like the way I've lived my life before. I was thinking that like if I was in negatives, which means I went over, that I did something wrong. I
Mm.
was like, oh no, it's too much. It's too much. And in fact, like, Meredith was even like, no, no, those are like the goals you want to hit. Like you can go into the negatives. And I was like, it should be positive. The number should be positive. It's like it's like tripping me up. But like it switched for me like kind of last week. Like I think that's the biggest thing. Like I think once I get the food, I know I'm talking a lot about food and not so much about like doing the workouts, but honestly, like it was such a switch for me to just get to the point where I feel safe enough to eat enough.
Yeah.
And then I finally reached that point and like just things just started opening up, like I like almost instantly slept better. And um I had more energy to work out. I'm starting to understand like
how much to eat before I work, like really just dialing it in. It's like another job, which I had to really figure out. But like feeling safe enough to eat enough, I think was like a big realization for me. And now I feel that my body is starting to relax and starting to like release more. Um, like I think that now I'll be able to maybe in a week, maybe in a few days, once I start doing the workouts, like I'll have this different, I'll just like I have a different mindset. Like feel like, oh, now I'm going to work on my body. Cause I think first I had to really work on the
Nutrition.
fuel.
Yeah. Dialing that in. Yeah, no, that's awesome. It does feel like a second job for a while, right? And it will until you have it so ingrained, like it just becomes so habitual how you operate, the foods you're eating, your mentality around it. Until you get there, it will feel just like tough, like a second job. Like, oh, I got to really think
Yeah.
this and process it, whatever. But eventually, you'll get to the point where like, oh wow, just kind of look around and be like, my relationship with food is really healthy now. This is great. And then that's when you're like you're in the flow of things. So
Yeah.
you're working that way.
Yeah. I feel like that's like right around the corner. Like now I'm going to fuel myself for my workouts and my workouts are going to just be so much more enjoyable
Yep.
because I'm not going to wait for like the other shoe to drop. Like it's just gonna be like, oh no, like I have control of my energy now, which means I know like tomorrow's leg day. So I know how I need to fuel for that versus like something else.
Yep.
So
Yep. Leg day, the best day of the week.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's really good to hear. You've been sleeping a lot more. You seem happier, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a game changer. Like I think I just got routines down with Castor too. And um yeah, for the first time ever, I'm not just like going to sleep with him and waking up with him. I'm like awake now. Like I can like be awake for another hour and a half. I'm not completely drained,
Oh,
you know?
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Just little like just little things. That's so awesome. Making
Who knew it would just be all the little tiny things that like just feel like they take forever. I feel like this is taking forever. I feel like it's like basic science, but like
that's okay. That is okay. It whatever the process is to figure things out, it's just sometimes that's just the process. And then you're like, why was it so hard to figure out? But who cares? You're there and you're crushing it, and that's awesome. It's really awesome. We were before we hopped on, we were in the middle of questions. So I don't know if you have any questions from the past week or whatever, but if you do, fire away. Or if either of you, other two ladies, have any more questions, please fire away. I would love to be helpful. I'll stay on here as long as you guys would like. And then we get our 12 hours of sleep.
I I do have a question. I was gonna text you, but I just forgot. Um, the push sled.
Yeah, pushing the sled.
Mm-hmm. So I was gonna send you a picture too, because the one at the gym that I go to has like levels where
Is it,
it's like max.
is it a torque tank with wheels on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So what would I put for the weight for that? Because I did like the max levels. It was hard.
Okay, so you had no weight on there and you were on level 3
Yeah.
and it was hard?
Well, yeah.
Well, no, no, no. I didn't mean that as, like surprise. I meant like
Okay.
scale of 1 to 10. How hard was that?
I mean, I did the 100 feet and I was like breathless
Okay, so then
after.
I would say stay there with no weight, just push the sled unweighted, and if anything, up the intensity you're pushing it. So just push
Uh-huh.
faster as you get stronger, then eventually start adding some weight to it. Because
Yeah, I was trying to like really push it and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this
yeah,
is
yeah, the
a lot
sled
harder than you think.
it will annihilate you.
I thought it was going to be so fun and it was fun
Right.
because it's like one of those anger ones, you know, you like really get mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you're moving. But but yeah, I like when I was done, I was like, oh my God, I like needed so much water. was
Yeah.
like, this is intense. And I was like, and there's no weight on it. Like,
Well, so the torque tanks are great because the harder you push it, the more like resistance there is against you. Like you can move it faster, but it's not like a
yeah.
regular sled where that momentum kind of gets a little easier, right? The torque tank just stays hard the whole time. Like it's awful. So yeah, and then you start putting some weight on top of it, and you're like, okay, this is pretty nasty.
So what would I put for that when I'm logging it? Because I couldn't really change it and it wouldn't let me put 0 and I didn't know how to like,
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I guess
right? Like torque tank level 3.
yeah, if you can write that, I would just put that something where you'll know what it is when you go back to it. I guess I'll have to figure out like what. Oh yeah, by the way, since you guys are all here, I'm switching to a different app again that I think is going to be better for whatever. But I'll be in the process of that over the course of this next week. But for the time being, how to log that, I don't know. I think you just write a note to yourself,
Okay.
and we'll have to put it like a 0. Yeah, because it's hard to say. It's hard to figure out like if people have torque tanks, prowlers, like different rogue sleds, and so that's tough to like to figure out what's the best way to track that. But as long as you know, that's what matters.
Oh, I know.
It's scarred into your memory.
I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I want to go push it around again.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do is the warm up on the sled with just reverse sled drags for like 10 minutes. So just like nice and neat, nothing crazy, just like 50 feet, turn around, 50 feet, turn around, just like back and forth, like 10, 12 minutes. Get your knees feeling good, get your heart pumping, maybe do some lateral drags. So in the future, you can make that your warm up. Just grab the sled, put it on like a level 1, and just 10, 12 minutes back and forward on the turf, whatever it is. Good conditioning, gets you warm, and then move into your strength work. It's perfect. Bulletproof your knees, all of it.
Yeah, I felt it.
Good. What else do y'all have for me? Anything?
Is it bad to drink coffee?
Ooh, good question. No, I don't think it's bad to drink coffee. I think it's bad to drink coffee if you're not drinking anything else with it, meaning water with some electrolytes to hydrate. Because caffeine, it's a diuretic, like it'll dehydrate you. So
Right.
you'll be peeing all day. There's a lot of people who are like, wait 90 minutes before you drink any coffee, and you really shouldn't drink till this time. And there's a lot of different things, but everybody's so different. I think if you enjoy having a cup of coffee, drink the cup of coffee, um, but make sure you're hydrating with it,
Yeah.
right? And I would even suggest mixing in a little bit of creamer, like some milk, almond milk, whatever,
Yeah.
just to reduce the acidity.
Yeah.
It's very acidic, and it will mess up the pH balance in your body, especially if you're not hydrating.
Yeah.
So that would be my only thoughts on it. Recently, I've actually this company sent me this stuff. I'll show you guys a picture of it. It's called Peak Natum, whatever. It's like a coffee alternative. It's got a ton of caffeine in it, so like you get a kick from it.
Like there's like mud water. Have you heard of that?
It's very similar I think it might be a competitor to mud water.
Okay.
Very, very similar. It's got all like the cacao in it, the
Yeah.
mushrooms, all the different things. So you get all those health benefits, and then you get the caffeine. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm like, I'll just put water in my coffee maker, and I'll
Hmm.
turn it on so it just makes hot water because I don't have like a kettle or
Yeah.
whatever. And then I'll pour it in and mix it in. It's been awesome, actually. I've enjoyed that. It could be something you could try too.
Yeah. I'm trying to drink more water. I'm carrying this thing around at work and getting made fun of. So
That's hilarious. That is bodybuilding status 101. Like you ever seen the guys in the gym that are carrying around the jug of water and they're all string tees on, you know what I'm talking about?
well, it's helpful. I mean, I'm clearly behind, but it like tells you like when you're supposed to drink it by.
There's a reason they were doing it. They got hated on, but it does work. You carry that jug of water around everywhere and you will
Yeah.
drink water.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are you mixing in electrolytes though? Like some sea salt, something like that?
I have this stuff that is electrolytes. It's called like I don't know. It doesn't have like it's like low in sugar count and stuff.
Doesn't fit it.
No, it's so good. I saw like a girl online. I mean, she's super fit and she uses it. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'll
Is it
find out.
LMNT?
No, I actually think it's right behind me. Let me go look.
Yeah, the LMNT is really good. Noon tablets are really good. You can use just like sea salt. I do pink salt sometimes. That's really good. Just something. It's funny
Have you,
when
have you tried the cream of tartar? Do you remember when I told you about cream of
I
tartar
remember that. And
potassium?
I forgot. What was that? What was about cream of tartar?
So so the LMNT packets are really good, but they're a lot of sodium and not enough potassium. So potassium is found in cream of tartar. So just like a teaspoon of cream of tartar, you can't taste it. So
Love it.
that's your potassium.
Yeah, mix that into your drink too.
I couldn't find it. My house is a mess, so I wanna.
We're all sitting on pins and needles. Send it to the group later when you
I
find
I
know.
will. I will. I think it's called Water Boy. I think is what it's called, but I'll confirm and send it to you guys. Yeah.
it. Water boy. Is it glacier water?
No, it's like a little
You guys get
packet.
the reference from the water boy? The
Yes,
glacier
yes,
water at the end, it always
yes,
is cold.
yes. What does he say? Like premium H2O or whatever. Yeah.
That's a high quality H2O.
Yeah, there you go. My son, he legitimately wants to be Adam Sandler and make movies with all of his friends. So we watch Adam Sandler all the time. Yeah.
He was really great. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So just make sure you're mixing electrolytes.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest mistakes people make when they first start hydrating a lot, drinking a lot of water. They just don't put electrolytes in it. Did you guys hear? I forget if I told you all this. Did you guys hear the story I told one of the podcasts with my old boss? He when his whole body cramped up and he almost died.
Yeah.
So so he was in the military and he had to go on some sort of reconnaissance. And they were going in groups, right? So like the day before a group went and apparently they got like cramped, like someone got cramped and almost died, like this whole thing. And he was like, well, that's not happening to me. It's like, and he's a big dude, like 6'5", 240, big grizzly beard. And he's like, I'm going to drink so much water. That's not happening. And what he did is exactly what I'm telling you. He flushed out all of his electrolytes. He goes on this reconnaissance mission. On the way back, he's in a foot of water. He starts cramping. Like he pulls his leg up, his quad cramps. He falls down. He tries to move his other leg. The other leg cramps. He tries to sit up. His abs cramp. And he said he had to lay there underneath the water because he couldn't move and let his whole body relax. So he's holding his breath, trying to let his body relax. And he's like, I'm not going to be the idiot that dies out here. And he eventually like pulls himself together and makes it back. And the next day he's like black and blue and he's swollen.
God.
Oh my gosh.
That's how he learned you have to have electrolytes in your water, else you will literally just flush everything out.
Well, that's a horrible story, but I did not know that. So like I have that stuff, but I haven't been using it all that much. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
And he's okay though?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's 40 something now. This was back when he was like early 20s in the Marines. But yeah, he's fine. That's what will happen if, and the caveat is like you're drinking a ton of water. So like I don't want to make it sound extreme, like you're gonna, be walking downstairs and all of a sudden cramp up and fall. Right? But if you are crushing a ton of water,
Oh, and I can't get up.
yeah,
Send it to the group. Be like, guys.
Right.
everyone's like,
SOS.
what? They're like, what happened? You're like, I drank too much water. It's like, what?
Cramped up. Can't move.
Let's not let that happen. But yeah, it can happen if you're drinking too much. It doesn't sound like you are, but just be aware of it. Yeah, please, I don't want to hear that you cramped up and fell over. All right, awesome. What else? Do you guys have anything else for me? We don't have to keep going. We can call it a night there. I just wanted to be available for you all. Enjoy getting together and checking in with you guys.
What else? This is like the only human interaction I've had today, so don't mind.
Well, good.
Yeah, it is all. I know.
Glad you're here. I told you all.
You want to know something cool?
Please.
So I work in oil and gas, and so like I work around like a lot of lot of like men. And I have to, so we just built a man camp. So Cal, you probably don't remember, but you had said, hey, you should check out the show. It's called Landmen or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it did. Oh my God. It's so much like everything. And like all the like there's so many safety incidents and all this stuff. So, anyways, I have to travel out to this small city in West Texas called Mentone. And I get to go check out one of our new man camps, which is like where our rotators stay. But it's anyway, so it's like featured in this show. So anyway, so I just yeah, not that exciting, but it's yeah.
No, so the show is pretty accurate. Is it? I had a feeling.
There's an elaborate, I mean, there's elaborations. It's not like I think I'm on episode 4. I haven't gotten into many, but it's like they're like talking about having to get the well back online, and that's like everything that's like super critical, and it's pretty much like that, yeah. And there's a lot of safety incidents that happen, and yeah. So
well, the first episode was insane, where Billy Bob Thornton just cuts his finger off in the hospital, and he's like, "I don't need it anymore."
yeah.
Of course you don't. Yeah, that shows everyone. So at the restaurant, I'll be going to tables, and several times people have been talking about that show. They're like, "Oh, have you watched Landman?" And they're just like going back and forth about it. Yeah. People love that show. It's funny. It's you. It brings out you sit there and bring back PTSD for you. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I work with like what I do for the company is like I support like the people side of things. So I'm over HR. And so I mean, all I deal with every day is drama. Like, so if you want interesting stories, I've got tons of them. I mean, it's freaking ridiculous. So
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yep. Anyways.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, I'm really glad that you all were here. Sounds like you all are doing great. You're getting after it, doing all the things. Let's keep doing it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Get good sleep, eat good food, make good decisions. Make good decisions. I feel like such
Yes, Dad.
I feel like such a dad saying
Okay,
that.
Dad.
Be home by 10. What are we talking about? But yeah, make a decision. So all right. Have a great night. It was really good to see you all, okay?
You too.
Good night.
Y'all.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.